This Tuesday. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. The Piatt County Mental Health Board is taking a big step forward as it establishes its priorities in its communities. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Executive Director of the Piatt County Mental Health Center, Tony Kirkman, reminds last November, the voters of Piatt County voted to pass a referendum giving the Piatt County 708 Mental Health Board dollars from property taxes. And now that the 708 board has figured out those fundings, Kirkman explains they have been deciding on how to best utilize those dollars.
The 708 board met about a couple of weeks ago, and they made some funding decisions. And then one of the things that was very important to the 708 board was to address some of the emerging needs they saw in Piatt County. So a couple of the needs that came out, one is that the Illinois Youth Survey shows that still around 20% of all 10th and 12th graders have had thoughts of suicide within the past year. When we look at 8th, 10th, and 12th graders, 35% of those have said they've been experiencing depression so severe that they've been discontinuing services or activities that they've normally found enjoyable. So because of those reasons, the Mental Health Board is going into partnership with 2 Piatt County school districts. I'm waiting until the end of this week to say which ones they are, because they still have a school board to meet to make that official. But we're going to put a full-time therapist 4 days out of the week in 2 different school districts and revisit a program that we had.
Now that the 708, or rather on the other end of the spectrum, those who answered a recent survey were age 55 and older and also showed an increased rate of depression.
The other programs that we're looking at is that the Department of Aging recently did a study in Piatt County and found that the individuals that participated in this survey that were 55 plus in age, that 50% of them identified of having severe depression issues. And so the Mental Health Board wanted to again step in front of that. And so one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to partner with the Piatt County Nursing Home and with Maple Point to put a therapist on site at the nursing home to work with the residents and the staff of both of those long-term care facilities to provide emotional support, emotional wellness training, and just some basic wellness activities. And then the remainder program of that, we're going to have a warm handoff program with the DeWitt Piatt Bi-County Health Department, where they're going to be able to refer over, and we're going to be able to see pretty quickly a lot of the mothers that are going through their WIC program. So they've got a lot of stuff that's going on their plate, a lot of stresses, and if we can provide some resources, some encouragement, some stability, we think it'll just lead to a healthier community.
With those tax dollars now in the rearview mirror, the 708 board is still waiting for funds to officially be allocated to them. However, once the money is received, Kirkman hopes the new programs will be up and running by the fall. As mentioned, the Piatt County Mental Health Board has established its first initiatives, and one is to bring therapists to 2 Piatt County schools. On the WHOW Morning Show Monday, Monticello School Superintendent Adam Clapp told Regional Radio they are one of those 2 districts that will potentially participate in this program. But first, the School Board of Monticello needs to vote on it this week.
One of our agenda items this week is our intergovernmental agreement with Piatt County Mental Health. It's a discussion item this month, and if the board sees fit, it'll be an action item for June. But we are looking at revisiting an agreement we had several years ago with a mental health therapist from Piatt County Mental Health, partnering with us and supporting our students middle school and high school, as well as a couple other school districts. I won't speak to them, but speak to us. We had a very successful run with this program in 21, 22 school years. At those times, we worked with Piatt County Mental Health and with some other local school districts to support our kids and with a mental health therapist. That mental health therapist was in the district 2 to 3 days a week working with our students, whether it was a proactive approach in supporting and building up strategies for dealing with anxiety or depression or overall students in crisis as well. So it was ultra successful several years ago. We're excited to bring it back. And that's one of the items that with the passing of the 708 referendum that Tony, I'm sure, mentioned, that's one of these things that is going to make this possible. possible with collaboration of the school districts and the Piatt County Mental Health Center.
As the Illinois Youth Survey reflects, Clapp says young people across the country are in need of extra mental health support. He notes while they already have school counselors, it's always good to have more resources
I
available.
think we're just seeing it across the country where we have this need for extra mental health support. We're right in the middle of Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to partner with a local agency that has some expertise. Our students are just like anybody else in the community. We have stressors at different points of the year, different times of the day, and this is just another layer of support for students to ultimately pick up strategies and ways to deal with their anxiety and strategies to support their anxiety and depression and just overall stress levels. And we're excited about this. We have social workers within our school district that also support our students, our administration, our teachers, all those things, but they're all part of a greater plan and several layers of support.
Learn more about the resources that will be coming from the Piatt County Mental Health Center at piattmhc.org. Funds from a LIHEAP program from LIHEAP, the Low Energy Assistance Heating and Cooling, which helps low-income families with energy bills, have run out, but there are still ways for you to receive assistance. At Thursday's Warner Hospital Health Fair, Anita Russell with Community Action told Regional Radio, while LIHEAP funds have been exhausted, you can still apply for the low-income discount program through Ameren to get assistance with your gas bills.
You can get the low income discount program through Ameren. So what you would do is you'd come in and apply like you're applying for LIHEAP, and then based on your income, it applies a discount to the gas portion of your bill. You have to be an Ameren customer to get this. And then so every month you'd be getting a discount on your Ameren bill. And eventually, I think sometime in 2026, they're going to start applying it to your electric portion of your bill as well. Gotcha. So we have that. We have various programs right now that we're just having to refer people to because we have a lot of people coming in getting disconnects. So we're just having to refer to some of the great people that are here at this fair tonight so that we can, so we can make sure people get help. They reach out to Community Action. You can call 217-732-2159. We have a receptionist that will screen you, ask you if you've received any assistance since October 1st of 2024. And if you're an Ameren customer, and if you're not, then we will set you up an appointment like we would for LIHEAP, and we just do everything like we normally would. But we'll end up denying it because there's a lack of funds. But then that also puts the discount on there for Ameren. So we're basically verifying it for Ameren to do the discount.
If you're looking for help with your energy bills, reach out to Community Action at 217-732-2159 or visit capsule.info. We could be in store for a warm summer. Nicole Albano at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates the outlooks are trending towards a warm-up in Illinois.
So the summer outlook is looking a little bit warmer. So we've got through June, July, and August, we've got above normal chances for temperatures. As for precipitation, it looks like about equal chances. So it could be a warm summer ahead. Average temperatures for June, like you said, they kind of steadily climb through the summer. We kind of steady out there. But for the start of June, normal temperatures high of around 80. And then by the end of the month, in the mid 80s, around 86. As for July, it looks like temperatures are pretty steady through the month. Mid 80s is normal for high temperatures. And then August is probably pretty similar. It looks like high temperatures, again, still in the mid 80s, maybe starting to dip down into the low 80s by the end of the month.
The severe weather season has been one to remember. Albano indicates May is actually the most active severe weather month of the year. It was another good week for producers to continue to make progress in the fields. USDA NASS Heartland Regional Director Brad Summa indicates roughly 5 days were suitable for field work for the week ending Sunday, May 18th.
Statewide, the average temperature was 67.4 degrees.
This week is off to a pretty wet start so far across the state. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Hear Clinton Maroon live play-by-play this season on WHOW, the Big 1520 daytime, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 in Bloomington Normal all the time. Plus, streamed at DeWittDailyNews.com on the WHOW mobile app and Amazon Alexa. Plus, hear a best of Clinton sports broadcast Saturday mornings at 10. All brought to you by Keith Wade, your country financial representative. Studio 505, and our exclusive sponsor for our Player of the Game, Surf Pro of Piatt, DeWitt Counties, the leader in fire, water, and mold restoration.
This is Seth Lawrence, News and Program Director for WHOW and WEZC. We take pride in being Clinton and Central Illinois' local radio stations each and every day, 7 days a week. What does local news mean? Here's a sample.
The current scoreboard is hanging on by a thread.
The reason that Constellation is decommissioning the siren use for nuclear emergencies is that the Nuclear Regulatory Commission is having this be put in the FEMA rep manual to satisfy a requirement that all notifications from a nuclear perspective will have to go to a digital monitoring. Sirens will no longer be an option.
Out-of-towners that come in and go door to door, on these roof claims.
You hear the local people that make the news every day, 7 days a week on the big 1520 AM, 92.3 FM, and 106.5 FM WHOW, and on your easy choice for soft hits, 95.9 FM WEZC.
With SRN Sports, I'm George Williams. Taking a look at your Major League Baseball scoreboard last night as the teams begin new series. It's the Marlins defeating the Cubs by a run 8-7. Reds over the Pirates 7-1. Red Sox beat the Mets 3-1. Astros over the Rays 4-3. Brewers with a 5-4 win over the Orioles. Mariners over the White Sox 5-1. The Cardinals brought their bats against the Tigers, winning 11-4. Phillies did the same to the Rockies, winning 9-3. Royals over the Giants 3-1, Angels over the Athletics 4-3, and the Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 9-5. There was a suspended game. The Guardians and Twins couldn't finish due to weather. The game stopped at the top of the fourth with the score 2-1. That'll resume today. In the premier event of cycling, the Tour de France is set for a revised dramatic finale in July, no longer a sprint into the final finish. They're going to go up the Mont in Paris on the final day. This is SRN Sports. Off the field, NFL rules and front office moves are making the sports headlines this morning. On the rules side, NFL owners meet today and tomorrow at the headquarters of the Minnesota Vikings. Among the agenda items, the fate of the so-called tush push up for discussion again. The Philadelphia Eagles used the famous short yardage shoving play en route to a Super Bowl victory this past season. Green Bay is among the teams challenging it, and they're trying to consider whether to ban that particular play as a short yardage strategy. The second item will address whether division champions with mediocre records can get home field advantage in the playoffs against wildcard teams that have better records. And then there will be a proposal to consider whether players can participate in the 2028 LA Olympics playing flag football. And the Philadelphia Eagles will give their coach Nick Sirianni a new turn at the helm. They renewed his contract very lucratively. This is SRN Sports.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. In a game heard on WHOW and all its digital platforms, Tri-Valley scored 5 runs in the 5th inning, highlighting 7 unanswered for the Vikings as they rallied past Clinton 7-5 in Class 2A regional quarterfinal action from Downs on Monday afternoon. Colton Walker started a 4-run third for the Maroons with an RBI groundout. Jack Manning followed with an RBI double. Then Josh Bass singled home Manning to put the Maroons up 3-0. Jackson Reynolds reached on an error to bring home Clinton's final run of the frame. But the Vikings scored the game's next 7 runs to go up 7-4. Clinton tried to rally in the top of the 7th. Walker reached on an error to start the 7th. 2 batters later, Bass singled in Walker to make it 7-5. Reynolds followed with a single, but the last 2 batters struck out to end the game and the season for Clinton. The Maroons finished their season 14-16 overall. Tri-Valley advances to take on top-seeded Monticello Wednesday in regional semifinal action in Forsyth. In a game heard on WHOW and all its digital platforms, Maggie Ravenscraft broke a scoreless tie with a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Danny Hovey struck out 14 in a complete game shutout, and Maroa-Forsyth beat Clinton 7-0 in Class 2A regional quarterfinal action Monday in Maroa. After Ravenscraft's 3-run home run 2 batters later, Aubrey Stewart doubled in Taylor Crouch to extend the Lady Trojans' lead to 4-0. Aubrey Berg hit a bases-clearing triple in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it 7-0 Maroa-Forsyth. Hovey permitted just 2 hits in circle for the Lady Trojans. Peyton Torbert and Adeline Simmons each finished 2 for 3. Avery Smith and Hadley Humble had the only hits for the Lady Maroons. Clinton finishes its season at 16-19 overall. 6-19 overall, Maroa-Forsyth improves to 12-13. They will take on Tolono Unity in a regional semifinal game this afternoon in Monticello. Ike Young's 3-run home run in the 4th proved to be the difference, and Monticello shut out Mount Pulaski 3-0 in a non-conference high school baseball tune-up game ahead of postseason play later this week from Monticello High School. Young's home run back 3 scoreless innings from Gatsby Grant, and 3 pitchers combined to close out the victory for the Sages. Monticello managed just 3 hits. Dawson Gitros and Eli Kraft had the other 2. Forrest Rodden, Matthias Rudolph, and Carter Foring combined to finish out the 3-hitter for the Sages. Chance Payne, Luke Martin, and Carter Clark had the only hits for the Hilltoppers. Clark's only blemish on the afternoon was Young's 3-run home run. He struck out 3 and permitted 3 hits. The Hilltoppers finished the regular season 20-6 overall and will take on Villa Grove on Wednesday in Tuscola in Class 1A regional play. Villa Grove toppled Broadlands Heritage on Monday. Monticello goes to 26-6 to finish out the regular season and battles Tri-Valley on Wednesday in regional semifinal action in Forsyth. Tri-Valley rallied past Clinton Monday in regional quarterfinal action in Downs. Hear Wednesday's action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Big 12 Conference champion Normal Community used a trio of big performances to blank Mahomet Seymour 11-0 in non-conference high school baseball action Monday in Normal. Gavin Michaels drove in 4 runs, finishing 2 for 2 with a double and a triple for the Ironmen. Max Heineman was 2 for 2 with a double, a triple, and an RBI, while Andrew Nauer was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs and doubled twice. Gavin Swartz struck out 4 in 5 scoreless frames. He allowed 4 hits and issued a walk for Normal Community. Corbin Harris finished 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBIs, while Kyle Beatty was 1 for 3 for the Ironmen. Normal Community goes to 31-4 overall. They will host Plainfield North to finish the regular season on Friday. Mount Zion started fast and did not look back, topping Normal West 6-2 in non-conference high school baseball action Monday in Mount Zion. Evan Howley doubled in a run in a 4-run first inning. Connor Fox singled in a run, and Carter Spengler scored 2 with a single. Andrew Tay pitched into the 6th inning despite 6 walks for the Braves. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits with 6 strikeouts in 5 2/3 frames. Torrin Delary was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs for the Wildcats. Cooper Temples and Drew Hart had the only other hits for Normal West. The Wildcats go to 19-13 overall. They'll finish out the regular season later this week while awaiting its Class 3A playoff pairings on Wednesday. Sidney Ditchin drove in 4 runs, and Gabby Dow twirled 4 hitless innings as Heyworth made easy work of Blue Ridge 15-0 in Class 1A regional quarterfinal high school softball action Monday in Heyworth. The Lady Hornets scored 10 runs in the 2nd inning to break the game open. Ditchin was 2 for 2 with a double and 4 RBIs to lead Heyworth. Natalie Kopp drove in 2, while Emily Rogers was 1 for 2 with a double and 2 runs batted in. Grace Streens and Ellison Loudenberg drove in 2 for the Lady Hornets. Dow struck out 6 in 4 hitless innings in circle for Heyworth. Blue Ridge finishes its season 13-12 overall. Heyworth advances to take on top-seeded Leroy this afternoon in Leroy. Class 1A regional quarterfinal baseball action from Monday. Bethany Oclaw Valley fell to Central A&M 5-4. It was Ridgeview over Bloomington Cornerstone Christian Academy 6-5. In Class 2A regional quarterfinal baseball action from Monday, Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond made easy work of Iroquois West 11-1. Peoria Notre Dame doubled up El Paso Gridley 8-4. Olympia blanked Bloomington Central Catholic 9-0. Sullivan edged Meridian 5-4, and Williamsville blanked Buffalo Tri-City 5-0. Class 2A softball regional quarterfinal action from Monday. Arthur Levington Atwood Hammond blanked Cerro Gordo 10-0. Normal U High downed Fithy and Oakwood 6-2. Sullivan blanked Shelbyville 4-0. And Tremont edged Warrensburg Latham 5-4. Class 1A softball regional semifinal action today from the Salt Fork Regional. The hosts take on Champaign St. Thomas More at 4:30. Tonight from the Leroy Regional, Leroy battles Heyworth at 4:30. Then Fisher takes on GCMS at 6:30. In Tuscola tonight, the hosts take on Decatur St. Teresa, followed by Argenta Oriena and Arcola. Tonight from Villa Grove, Central A&M takes on Crisman at 4:30. Class 2A regional semifinal action today from Macon. Meridian battles Arthur Levington Atwood Hammond at 4:30. Then Payne takes on Sullivan at 6:30. From the Monticello regional tonight, Tolono Unity takes on Maroa-Forsyth at 4. Monticello battles Tri-Valley at 6. Hear that action tonight on 95.9 FM, WEZC, and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. From the St. Joe Ogden Regional, St. Joe takes on Normal U High at 4:30. And tonight from Olympia, Olympia battles Petersburg Porta at 4:30. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Surf Pro of Piatt, DeWitt counties are your fire, storm, and water restoration specialists. Find out how they can help you by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Netflix buffering, YouTube spinning, devices not connecting, Zoom calls dropping. It's frustrating. Let's end your frustration by signing up for fiber internet in Clinton. Click the Connexus icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here are the contest rules for WHOW and WEZC Radio. We allow only one winner of any prize from either station per household in a 30-day period. Prizes can be picked up by the winner at our studios inside the Big Red Barn, 4 miles south of Clinton on U.S. Highway 51 within 2 weeks of winning. Our office hours are weekdays from 8 till 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Employees of